Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and in this one we have EKKO Jungle, the most broken champion in Season 13. Now most junglers thought, hey, all of these changes we're gonna get a fresh ability to clear fast, to clear well, to clear healthy, and while that's true, you're not all faster. However, some of the faster champions from, previous years, they're faster, and EKKO is one of the beneficiaries of this greatness. Now typically we would look for 3 camp ganks, 3 camp actions, 4 camp reverse variants, 5 campers, but we weren't really full clearing on EKKO Jungle, but now you can do that faster than ever, and with a champion that snowballs, that gets level 4 first with a 2.25 second stun, that can start Raptors, red, blue, whatever you want, just don't start Krugs because you're wasting 10 seconds. I actually have had to answer that question before multiple times. Runes on your screen now, first strike, riches, as is the usual. We are against a Evelynn here, so Evelynn most likely is going to be full clearing. We see, okay, Yuumi Ezreal, mana missing, most likely gets started on the bottom side. You'll see on the minimap that is in fact the case. We have here a Fiora versus a tree, and Le Baguette should be able to do the job nicely. And EKKO is going from the Raptors, red, Krugs, because you can have a minimal leash. You can definitely do it solo, and this allows you to gank the bottom lane here. Now, the Evelynn's going to path upside. The downside is she could look classically to cut into your top side, but with the counter jungling nerfs, that's not going to happen on the level 1, level 2, level 3 rotation in terms of your level of the junglers. But counter jungling is as potent as ever. It is still good. Make sure you are still doing equal and opposite gameplay. Don't think, oh no, it takes me a little bit longer, I should never counter jungle. Bullshit. Counter jungle when you can and do the good work. It just stops the cheeses and the early stuff. Now, we're going to chuck out a W in a good position, which means if they flash, if they position, they will get stunned. However, in a Master Plus game, typically, Yuumi Ezreal will see this and float to safety. Now, would I gank that lane necessarily level 3? No, I would not. This ward here doesn't really do much. It will do much upon the resequence. It won't do much now, but if everyone does a full sequence up, sees the EKKO go across to the mid lane here we go. Will he flash into spot? He does, but he does create positioning. So this here shows you the issue with EKKO Jungle early ganks, and obviously the predictable nature of that W in terms of, you can space it as well as you like, but as long as people are flashes and dashes, they can avoid it. However, don't worry. We have here a good Giga Smurf game. I want to show you why this champion is specifically strong, not just because he can full clear, and that's always a trick, isn't it? I kind of like to go against the grain of these, because typically people will look for this, watch it, and be like, oh, well, EKKO full clears fast, which means he can gank level 4, 1v1 level 4, and snowballs, and that's the end of the game. And what happens if that doesn't happen to you? What happens if you literally run it down almost into the mid lane? Well, we went traveling with the Yone, because remember that also happens with your E, but obviously we flash as well. Yone uses his flash. The Xerath is going to sit here. He does not have TP, no flash, no barrier. This here, if we could have burned a flash, would have been peak. Goodness, we did burn the flash here, which is super nice, but now of course we can fall back to base against our will and then go ahead and snack our blue side. The Evelynn in the meantime, because she full clears faster than 330, you're not going to sit around and wait for a crab, right? So she goes for this mid lane gank, goes down, EKKO's ward does the work here. This is what I was talking about, and now of course we can snack this top scuttle. So in the end, what do we lose? Well, we give gold away to the Xerath. The mid laner is now losing. The top laners went 1v1. Yeah, you lose a little bit of that tempo, but it's not really that bad. Now, there should be no reason for us to go cheeky invading here whatsoever. We know exactly what happened, but as you can see, he's basing, putting a control ward down, and he sees as he's basing, because he's not just shopping, maybe this is gankable. So again, we're going to go for the attempt, and this is the most crucial thing. While we can full clear and use our EKKO power spike level 4, we are also looking to impact more so than what the Evelynn can do. Because the Evelynn and farming, I hate this. This is just mind-numbing. I'm going to go left. Now I'm going to go left. Now I'm going to go left. And it's just, I do the same. I just leave. I'm going to wait or I'm going to bounce because it's not worth the time invest. Now, Evelynn most likely at this point reset and will be going up. EKKO has gone for the Moss Stomper. Now, you can, if you are needed to be a bit more of an engaged tool, or you expect the enemy team has a lot of damage, and you want to be able to get your ult off, because Xerath, Charm, we have the Yuumi slows, the Yuumi ult. You can foresee environments where you would try and go in with your W, get stunned by a Xerath E, chain CC'd, and then you can't ult out. The Moss Stomper gives you the shield and gives you the tenacity, which includes slow resist, not as much as say a Swifty boots, but specifically it does help us. Now, Evelynn and EKKO are both beasts of just taking Scorchclaw, red jungle pet. So if you just want to solo carry your games, go with a Scorchclaw, alright? That's just a straight up default, you can do that. But both do work with the other jungle pet choices, EKKO better and more so with the Moss Stomper, and Evelyn more so with the Gust Walker. Did I say that correctly? I got that. Yes, Gust Walker, blue pet. Because, you know, I can't say Red Smite, because Red Smite's not the red pet. I mean, Red Smite's something completely different, and now it's a dead concept. And the previous blue smite, the Chilling Smite, is now built into all the smites. So to alleviate any confusion, just say pet, or remember their actual names. Now in this particular environment, not the best start for us, but that's why I like showing games like this where we pop off and carry and use the strength of the champion, but it's not given to us. Oh, hello, bonjour, madame. And we have here a level 6 Xerath. We saw her tracking. She thinks he's going for it. We use our W to go over the wall with the E. She's going to try and load up a full charm here, but she doesn't have flash. Yone repositions, uses his E, goes into the Evelyn. She is not yet level 6. We are not yet level 6, but we get the kill there. Now we can use our E dash and we can get into that Q range to make sure we get the slow. The Xerath will live, however, because we don't have bonus damage for free. We do have to scale, we do have to build it. But this RNG crab will be absolutely vital and juicy. We'll snack that up. And we know that the Evelyn now with 44 CS, as everyone should know, numbers of league, numbers of jungling, 44 CS is a full clear, plus 1 crab, plus a second rotation. And now, at this stage, a third rotation is up, so once more we can add 24 CS to the tally if she doesn't show up and then shows top lane. So keep that in mind. If you see 44 CS and you know she started bot, and you see 24 gank, you see 28, you see 44, it's numbers that you should identify. Now, we do know she's going to be going to the bottom side here for this blue. We do know that our bottom lane here is pushing up. We also know that with the reduced jungle gold, and a little bit the experience as our farming tempo doesn't really scale up the way it used to, that level 6, you will notice, gets a little bit delayed when you try and gank a little too much and you're not sequencing properly. But please, my friends, if in this case, right, we gank top lane and we see the Evelyn go bottom lane earlier on in the game, and you see this Raptor Camp spawn, and you're here, you can counter jungle it. Don't just say no because I do 20% less damage to it. You can still take it pretty easily. And counter jungling can still be really potent and strong and irritating against the right people. So keep that in mind. EKKO in the meantime, 0-1-1. We'll take that singular assist on the Evelyn, and then we'll sneak on up here and go outside in rule. We need to snowball. I'm EKKO, I need to get fed. Now remember, when you're going first strike, treasure hunter, and you're an assassin, and you can full clear super, super well, but you're against another full clearer who can't gank as well as you, it can be quite interesting to say, listen, I know you're going to full clear. I know I cannot do it as well as you. I can, in general, do that, but why don't I just try and force the action a little bit? Level 3 gank bottom lane, level 3 gank mid lane. We shouldn't have died. Everyone shows up here knowing that this is most likely going to happen. We'll take the bonus experience. Remember, they buffed that, even though the first charges got reduced damage and the plates have added resistance, so the Herald is not as potent as before. Potent, word of the day. But I'm seeing too much of these people going, don't want to use the Herald, bro. Nah, they nerfed it. You don't like free gold? You don't like free experience? They also buffed the local gold a while back. Take it, use it, enjoy it, embrace it. If you lose a dragon for it, it's okay, my children. Just use it for the snowball component, because the snowball component for assassins, for EKKOs, is gold. Now, in the second to last, no, the very last best junglers I did for season 12, what did I say to you all in that video? I said EKKO is top 3 carry junglers, best junglers for solo queue. The data did not always necessarily back it up. Aha! Yes, forcing everyone to get a little bit desperate once you start taking objectives and you start sort of matching her CS tempo. She feels like she needs to use her ult, but you're just shadowing side lanes. Top lane is getting fisted. Xerath is now 2-0-0, but the Yone is 2-1-0. This is a low Xerath, whose Flash and Barrier are up again, but so is EKKO's. We do have the activation of the smite as a possibility here. There we go. We don't actually need it, but a simple E-Flash Q usually does the trick. Make sure you get your passive proc on those autos for the movement speed to respace yourself as appropriate. And here we go. Look at this. 2.5 plates. Here's the Herald. Boom. Before that would be finished. Now it isn't. So the game state elevation is shifted, but you're still getting a lot of cash money and a lot of gold and a lot of denial. So we're not elevating the game state as soon, but you're still infusing yourself with cash monies to the tune of 4,600 to 3,400. Okay, so What have we learned so far about why EKKO is so damn strong? Well, all the things that made him strong before, that's why he's strong now. But because he has percentage damage, right, and the fact that he already cleared, his clear amp up was insane, now he can just full clear faster. It's just adding a strategy to his early game that allows him to not have to play like this. But he chose to play classical EKKO gameplay, and that still works just as well. So that's what I'm trying to show you here. Yes, the full clear helps, but the fact that he can amp it up and he's only down 7 CS to an Evelyn, who's now going topside due to the deep control, residual vision. Still a bitch sometimes, still a bitch. Okay, Yone getting leveled up by the Zillion. That was almost a very German English sentence. Getting leveled up by the Zillion. And the EKKO's on the bottom lane here onto the 80 gap, I'm sorry. That's the name, that's what we do. And yeah, there you go. So 2-on-1 now. We've activated a Nash's Tooth completion with Sork Boots completion from that Herald push, which gives us item completion, allows us to see the mid lane fight. We're going to rotate straight up here, force the Evelyn out, zoning this way, forcing her this way. The Yuumi is now on the Zerath. We're going to have here the nice stun by the Maokai. We'll get our slow from the Q, keep auto-attacking as well. You have the Nash's Tooth on hit, so keep auto-attacking all the time. You get your passive proc and you say, wee, and you run away. And we also have Zillion as well. So Zillion with an EKKO or any assassin. Mighty fun. So, over damage, still a thing. Full clearing is now a strategic option for the early game should you need it. Against other full clearing junglers, you still gank and counter gank better than them. That's huge. And once lanes start to get a false sense of security and push up a little bit as support starts to trickle around the map, because the game state elevation, this is it, hasn't occurred as soon as possible, as soon as it did in Season 12, the map is still constrained. Towers are still up at 12 minutes, 13 minutes, 14 minutes, which means you're still having room to work and get those ganks when you have a high level of damage and the enemy just cannot match it. Sapling Destiny. Fiora is a champion who builds an item, and these things together are fun. Yeah, it's very fun. Okay, back to base. Alternator consumed or purchased. Blasting Wand adopted. Nash's Tooth in the bank. And now we can leave the base. No no Dragon snacked at this stage. Obviously, there's a bit of lack of damage for the dragons. I mean, Evelyn can do it, but it's not like, woo, double bomb from the Zillion. EKKO sees this. Here's another reason why he's so good. Because the map's still constrained, and we can use the fact that the map is constrained for tower dives and huge item spike kills on those ganks. At the same time, he also rotates it to situations really quickly, clinically, with his E. Ooh, Yuumi is on the... but... we didn't want to hit that. Unlucky. Unlucky. But again, very nice. 5-1-1. It's so subtle, isn't it, sometimes? These leads, these games are subtle, and I enjoy them because your top laner might lose, your mid laner might lose, you might end level 1, but the game isn't over because we're still thinking about the enemy jungle. We're still thinking, all right, how can I rectify that on the mid lane level 3? How can I keep my tempo matching to the Evelyn without trying to be the Evelyn? If you're trying to be the Evelyn or be the Carthus or be the Fiddlesticks, you're not going to have fun. Right? So do what you do best. Do what your champion does best. Okay, 10 treats to 9 treats, which means we're keeping that up reasonably well. Evelyn obviously will keep farming faster and faster and faster, but EKKO will have the same potent, the same lethal kill threat that she does as an assassin. But because he scales almost better than everyone, because the Nash's Tooth allows him to do DPS against DPS comps, I mean, look, the straight up on hit here, the straight up haste, well, back in the day, there was 20% CDR in this, and I do miss that we don't have 20% CDR in this anymore, and I keep forgetting. But the 100 ability power, absolutely nutty on this champion. But now, of course, you got the split pushing, you got the burst damage, the squishies. It's a great way to play. Obviously, you've got Nash's Tooth versus Lichbane discussions, which I have every single video. So go watch a previous EKKO video if you want to talk about that. In fact, there's pinned comments from other EKKO high elo EKKO mains who've answered questions talking about it. Now, for us here, we're going straight for the Nash's Tooth spike. It allows us a lot of burst damage, as well as ability to take heralds, dragons, towers really, really quickly when we want the game state elevation to happen. Now, you see this? Do we lack damage there? No, we do not. Beautifully done. Okay, finally, mid lane tower doth fall, and bottom lane will secure this one. Thank you for the roam to the Yone. We cover top lane in the meantime. Also cover those lanes. The point is, the jungle pets all suit him. The experience for the first, we've lost our Nunu and Willem. We've lost our support. Well, if he doesn't come back, who cares? 4v5. Good content, that's right. 15 minutes on the bank here. We got 31 to 27. Evelyn now does have a Yumi, which is a bit of an issue, so she will become a little bit of an annoyance, but we have 8.7k, which is more than basically anyone in the game by a long shot. Treasure Hunter, plates, farming tempo, annihilation, outside and roll straight up to the top lane, get the kill, because now we can kill everyone. Once you can overkill everyone, here we go. We got that E on hit, we're going to smack the tower, beautifully done. The damage is now 836. Again, you can't see that, but basic attacks apply 66 damage, magic damage on hit, and so far we've done 836. And against things like, against team comps with CC, who might be more difficult to just straight up burst for whatever reason, that on hit is quite nice when certain spells can be absorbed through riposte and immunities and Banshee's Veils and all those kinds of yada yada things. Right, Yumi on the top side with a Zeroth, and we have here no words for Yone. Honestly, I know he doesn't always win, but how disgusting is that champion in terms of just mobility and design and range? Like, I'm so glad that he can kill me and then basically go back to his base. Unbelievable. See, this camp gets snacked up pretty quickly. Outside in rule here with the Scuttle. We have the Varus is quite low. Fiora's going in on the Maokai. Had to catch my breath there. We snacked that up nicely. Now at this point, where EKKO becomes good is pushing the map out. And in this current meta where people are struggling to activate the first Herald to really blow out a tower and then use that lead to get into their jungle and carry on and really push the game speed as we were doing, okay, EKKO is one of the few junglers that is still able to completely demolish the map in every sort of way. Rengo's another one, but obviously significantly less potent and significantly less dangerous in those early ganks compared to an EKKO, because that W stun on the EKKO is 2.25 seconds, you know, and Rengo doesn't have that same ability to gap close without a bush. At least I'm catching the overuse of the word of the week, but it happens when your brain is fatigued. And, well, we finished our treats at least, and Evelyn still has 5 to go. Rocky Belt, Nash's Tooth, Sork Boots, and I think a Juicy Magi might be on call here. See, look at this. People have been saying to me, like, you know, can I steal blues? Can I steal Groms? Even in the mid-game, like, of course you can. If you've killed them and they're dead, take their stuff. You're not going to notice that fall off, right? In terms of that 20% reduction at any, it gives you benefit. It literally gives you benefit. For example, we saw in the very first game of this year, the Evelyn literally cheesed and stole a whole red set from I think it was who the hell was it? Jin Chao? Maybe? I don't know, someone. And then what happens is the jungler clears this way, goes up here and goes, oh, my camps are gone. Now, previously, you would have seen the Evelyn in this particular situation cheese the 3 camps here, gank the top lane, you'd be finishing your blue side, you'd see it here, oh, vertical jungling. But because it took them 9 seconds longer due to this 20% reduction, the jungler ended up here, and by the time you see the Evelyn, so it's too late to swap back to vertical. So there are benefits to your strategic counter jungling. Just use it appropriately. Now, we should, of course, be on the dragon side when there is a dragon spawn. However, don't position like the Evelyn just positioned, okay? Yeah, that's not how you position, and that's why tanks and assassins aren't always friends, and why when I made the main channel video on Friday talking about the different classes and comparing them, you don't want to end up in a five-man death comp, right? The death ball as an assassin. And as Evelyn, that is just the worst position to be in. You need your team to bait out those positions. You need your team to bait out some spells to do something, or your blue cane, essentially, and you can have the suction effect where you just dive in, they will go and you ult, and then you know, E away afterwards. That's obviously works better. EKKO with his ult also works better, but in Evelyn's case, just don't be here. Now, to that end, once you have the numbers advantage as an assassin, as an EKKO, the chase down kills, righteous and strong. and very difficult to deal with for anybody. Oh, look, we have a fight here. Hello, Fiora. Will you kill our Yone today? Yes, you will, but we'll kill you, I think. Oh, no, Evelyn shows up. That's fine. We've got the W, which we can activate with our ult. Doesn't really matter. We activate just outside of it. We back inside to stun the Evelyn. She's ulting to safety. The Yumi jumps on him. To her, I mean, to heal her. Maokai has decided to show up. He should kill her on the right side. He does. We have now gone on to this side. We have the resurrection from the Zillion ult. Thank you so much, good sir. We're going to E space with our Echo abilities, and we're going to flash out, get our passive, and go zoom. Bye-bye. And now the Xerath is out of position. He uses his Zonia stopwatch ability. There's another route from the Zillion, who's repositioning with our Varus, who's really, goodness gracious, goodness gracious, goodness gracious. Well, it looked interesting. It looked, you know, when Varus starts to pump out the auto attacks, it looks interesting, but Yumi, champion. You know, if her wood rate's 38%, she can still warp in it. That's what's funny. She can be terrible, but she can still auto win a game just by being on a Fiora or something like that. Once more, the Evelyn a little bit out of position. TY for the TP from the tree, and now the Fiora is taking our camps here as well, which is basically a nightmare. We get the speed up from the Echo, sorry, from the Zillion. Speed up on the Echo from the Zillion into the blue to make sure we can try and snack that away. We get a huge, oh, baby. Use your ultimate aggressively. Nicely done. Very good speed up, very good E, very good W, very good ult. Perfection, as we say. We did not upgrade to the measures, we went straight for the death cap. If you're Giga Fed and they have a whole bunch of squishies with no tanks, with no resistances, you don't need the void stuff. You can have the void stuff, but it's still good just to go with the death cap. He scales just as well, if not better, than Evelyn on raw AP. Try and get the shield here. Woo! We do have the ult from the Zillion, so yeah, trigger that. Don't let it waste out. We do have our smite up as well, and this should be free. That was just... The Evelyn will not be featured in this month's best Evelyn player rankings. Woo! That was... Woo! I mean, just hit this and then ult smite combo and get out. No one can outdamage you. I mean, if there's one champion that can maybe outdamage you in that steal, it's probably an Echo with E smite. But your best shot in hell here was hitting the plant, going over, all right? All you try and do is you try and instantaneously QE R smite. You got me? You make sure you QE R smite at the same time, and you will 100% steal most Barons. 99% steal... 9 out of 10 times you can steal most Barons and Dragons. And Echo is obviously the coin flip scenario here, but if you're like against I don't know, me and Own Jungle, like I've stolen things in Own Jungle, I don't know how, why. It's just a smite timing thing, a reaction time thing, a prediction of the health dropping time thing, but people just don't combo their abilities with smite properly. So that should have and could have been a very game swinging steal, but instead we decided to walk from the front, R into the pit, and it was gone and we died, because there's a time lag between when you press R and when you land with your ability to use your smite. So yeah, don't go Night Harvester. You can, but don't. Rocket Belt, utility, super good. So the Echo basically, to recap, farms 4 clears, 3 camps, 4 camps, does whatever the hell clear you want. On the main channel, I have a best of and every single route you need for Season 13, where we discuss this. Not only that, but the reason he was strong in Season 12 is the reason he's strong right now. His ability to scale with raw damage and itemization through First Strike or Dark Harvest, First Strike is better, is unparalleled. He can take towers, objectives, counter jungle, farm, and gank, and counter gank with... You will struggle to find a champion who can do all of those things just as well. Now, we do want to be cautious here. We are low, and we can rinse towers, but Ezreal is up, and we don't want to give double buff. Shut down. It's the canyon effect, isn't it? It's a straight-up canyon effect. It happens so often. So we'll just speed up here. We do have a 3rd dragon spawning. Double Herald control, by the way. And again, the game state elevation, whereby we take the first outer turret, and we start to push into their jungle and take subsequent towers and split push. That isn't as potent now because obviously the Herald's damage reduction. And in that case, I suppose we could use it. But it's still good for your gold. It's still good for your snowball. But you're going to have to come back to lanes to really blow out the towers. Here we're going back to base because we want to finish off the Banshee's Veil. I think that's such a great and underrated buy, especially if you just lost all your stacks and you don't want to measure eyes. Against the Evelyns, against the Xeraths. But I want to have fun. I mean, I suppose if you have 16-2-5, although, let's have a look here. Don't farm, by the way. I see this, and many people start farming. At the end of the day, right, there's still 2 up with an Ezra Yumi. We have to watch for the death of the Maokai here very, very cautiously. Actually, it needs to be... Everyone's kind of low. And we've got the Fiora up here. EKKO, yeah, don't stop to farm. Just come. Chuck out your W. You've got the speed up. Here we go. Don't even chuck out the W. Just kill him immediately. Now, tone to peel. Nicely done. We're saving the W for when we really need it. And the answer is we don't need it at all. Because, whoa, well, that was very, very quick. But all we needed was EQ and some auto attacks, which is why Nash's Tooth is really fun. And now we have 19 kills. Can we get a 20th, please, sir? Can we tower dive? Come on, get 20. Ah. Yes, we don't have 20. W. Walk into it. There you go. Well, EQ auto will do it. So there you have it. Not the cleanest start, but showing you the pros and cons of certain starts. And obviously, you know, full clearing can work now. The Evelyn is a full clearer. We matched her, tracked her, played around her perfectly. All in all, this is why EKKO said I'm strong. The amount of gold and damage you can do across the map, whether you're a Lichbane or Nash's Tooth builder, doesn't really matter. Disgusting scaling, disgusting champion. My Zoda GG guide will have all the builds for you that haven't changed and all the best routes for you, so don't forget to download all of that good stuff. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next tutorial.